let's see what's LOD, or level of detail. So LOD, or level of detail for mesh, is a tool that Unity provides so that you can actually increase the performance in your 3D games when your camera is far from 3D objects, yet that you don't need the user to see all the details. So it will render few details but not the whole object, and it depends on your preferences, of course. So if you take a look at the example that Unity provides in the documentation, as you can see, LOD has different stages, so LOD 0, LOD 1, and so on and so forth. And at LOD 0, the camera shows a mesh with a lot of small triangles and with a lot of details. But as the LOD goes up, meaning that your camera is getting farther away from the object, the camera actually renders fewer triangles and fewer details of the object. So let's see how we can implement it in Unity. Here I have a sphere, and well, a sphere itself doesn't have many details, but what I'm going to do here is use a sphere and then use a cube. And a cube obviously has fewer details than a sphere. So if I take a look at my sphere object, it has a sphere collider, mesh renderer, and I can add here an LOD group. So if I type here LOD, I can see the LOD group, meaning level of detail. And there is this setting in LOD that you can set, and it's LOD 0, LOD 1, LOD 2, and called. And you can actually right click and insert before, so like you can add as much as LODs as you want. But I will just use these 2 or 3 that are here. So at LOD 0, we are at 100%. So every detail is actually discoverable in my camera. And LOD 1 is 60%, and then 30%, and then called is 10%, which is the minimum detail. And what I'm going to do here, I have a cube in my project prefabs, and I'm just going to add it to my LOD 2. So I go to the LOD 2, and here, as you can see, it says renderers. I will drag and drop it in my renderers, and I will say yes, read parent, so that we can actually add it to as a child object of my sphere. And like that, if I take a look, I have my cube, I have my sphere in LOD 0. Again, I have my sphere in LOD 0, but as I move to LOD 2, you will see this renderer that is my cube that appears here. So if I add an LOD 3, here, and I add my cube in there as a renderer, as you can see, as I move from LOD 2 to LOD 3, my cube renders, and you can't actually see it here, but my sphere will stop rendering. And well, it's a level of detail that my user doesn't exactly see, so it's not so important. It will only become important when the user gets close enough, so that my user will see the sphere and it's all good.